Hey guys, Rob Sambles here. I'm from Rob Sambles Photography. I'm a photographer based in Send in Surrey. A lot of you guys will know that if you're familiar with my blog and stuff. So I'm driving, as you can tell, on my way to the Surrey Scorchers versus Manchester Giants basketball game. Due to be there, I'm due to be there in like 10 minutes. I'm probably about 10 minutes away, but the game doesn't start for quite a while. So I thought I would do some video today, kind of like documenting some of what I do and some of what goes into shooting a basketball game. So I've got my my little, it's not a GoPro, but it's a bit like a GoPro, my little camera with me, and I'm going to film a few bits, film some of the footage of me actually shooting the game, some of me setting up, stuff like that. Maybe I might film the setup of my remote camera as well, so you guys can see how some of that works, and I thought it might be interesting. A bit different, I suppose, from some of my blog where I normally like talk about something or stuff I use, whatever, that kind of thing. So a little bit different, but I thought it might be good, and I thought it might be interesting for some of you guys. So yeah, see you there. Okay guys, so this is the video of me actually shooting the game. I've knocked off the audio from this because it was just a bit noisy and people shouting, whistles, crowd cheers and stuff, and I thought I'd talk over it instead because I thought it might be a bit easier. So yeah, this is me shooting the game Surrey Scorchers against Manchester Giants. Those of you guys who've seen my blog before be familiar with some of what you can see right there. So that's my little seat back, which I like. I'm sitting in my usual spot on the baseline over to the right. The basket is to my left, just here. So the two cameras I've got there, the one on the floor, so the one just to my left there that you can see, or the one I just picked up, is the 7D, and that's got my Sigma 1835 f1.8 on there. Really good for indoors, obviously. It's for my wider angle stuff. The other one, the one that's picked up now, that one, that's the 7D Mark II, and that's got my 50mm on. Right, ref getting in my way. That's the worst thing, ref getting in the way. That's my 7D Mark II with the 50mm on there, so I use that quite a lot, obviously, you can probably imagine. It's on a crop factor camera, obviously, the 7D2, so it's the equivalent of about, probably about 85mm, but one of my favourite lenses for basketball. So I'm taking the shots. You guys can see every now and again I keep going to the back of the, like now, I'm going to the back of the camera. Now, something's a bit controversial, I suppose, with photography. A lot of guys will tell you, never do it, never do it. But what I'm doing there is going through images and deleting the ones which I just don't want. So, when I say don't want, anything that looks even vaguely good I keep. Anything that's just rubbish I'm getting rid of. What I'm also doing is going through, so let's say a guy comes through and drives to the basket and lays up and I get a sequence of 5-6 images. I'm going through them and I'm locking the image on the back of the camera for the one that I want, the one that's at like the pinnacle moment. The reason being because then later on when I plug my memory card into my laptop, I can ingest just the locked images, so it gives me the real good ones that I want quick, so that I can get those ready and I can email them off to the team, to the client, as quick as I can. So yeah, so here we are still shooting the game. Ref getting in my way again. Now, this is the first half. Is it the first half? Yeah, it's the first half. I can see by the time in the corner of the camera. This is the first half of the game. So in the first half, I tend to just crack on and get, I suppose, almost what I would call the simple pictures and get into the flow of the game. I don't worry too much about, like, cheerleaders, crowd, coaches, stuff like that. Don't get me wrong, if something big happens, then of course I will get shots of it. But the first half of the game, I just try to concentrate on just getting the shots of the game. The players, the people shooting, people laying up, people dunking, the simple stuff. Because ultimately, when it comes to it, those are the shots that the team will use straight away for the match reports, for the social media. And those are the main ones I want to, for basketball anyway. For football, things like celebrations are good, but you don't get that the same way in basketball because you don't get, like, you know, one big goal. Obviously, they're scoring baskets all the time, so you don't get the same kind of celebration. Unless it's like a game-winning basket or something. So yeah, so here I am. I'm shooting the game. Stretching out the legs. You do get a bit uncomfortable sitting on the baseline. That seat back that you can see that I've got there is absolutely key for me. Otherwise I'd be stiffening up. But even then, when I sit there with my legs crossed, they get a bit seized up. And every now and again, when it gets to a point where like the cheerleaders come on and I have to run down to the other end of the court, so the far left side, I suppose, from how you're looking at it, and the knees get all locked up, so I've got to stretch them out a bit. So in a minute, the video is actually going to change so that you guys can see the view that I have. So I've fitted the camera actually into the horseshoe on the top of my cameras, so you can see the view that I've got. I thought it'd be something interesting for you guys. In fact, the video's about to change now. There we go. It's me putting it on. Sorry guys, the audio dropped off for a second there. That's my remote camera stuff there, which I didn't actually use, but that was my triggers and stuff. So yeah, this is the footage of me actually shooting from the top of the camera itself. So it goes sideways like that. That's when I'm shooting portraits. So every now and again, the images which flag up are the actual shots I took during the point of the video that you can see. I thought it might be interesting for you. I've only done it with a couple of them, but still I thought it might be quite cool. So that's a few of those for you there. I've then also got some footage of me editing the photos afterwards, which I did last night, which I'm going to switch to in a minute. I thought this might be good. I didn't want to do too much of this particular footage because it makes you kind of dizzy, so it's flashing back and forth and it's moving around. You can imagine it's me following the images, so it takes quite a while. Okay guys, so it's pretty much coming to end this bit, and we'll go on to the video editing section.
Hey guys, so on the way home, good game. In fact, awesome game. It was, went down to the buzzer, and Surrey Scorchers beat Manchester Giants by 1 point, literally right at the end. So, really good game actually in terms of the score and the finish in particular. Obviously, that kind of finish to a game enables you to get some good shots, like emotions, crowd, players celebrating, stuff like that, which was good. So, on my way home now. I've already emailed a couple of images from earlier on, but when I get back I'm going to put together another little set of like 10, 12, which I send to the team who I shoot for, Surrey Scorchers, because then they have those and they can use them on like social media, stuff like that tonight. So I'll do that when I get back, and I'll show you some of the photos.
Okay guys, so this is the footage of me actually editing some of the photos from the game. So I'm at home at this stage, going through the photos. The cheerleaders aren't the first ones I did, alright? Let's just be clear, that's just the way the footage is panned out. So this is me going through, this is a program Lightroom which I'm using here. A lot of people are probably fairly familiar with Lightroom. I know it's not the quickest, and people are going to say photo mechanic for sports photos and stuff like that, but Lightroom's fine for me, especially for stuff like this, because it's not, it's not live, it's not a wire service. I've just got to get a handful of images together and send them at the end of the night so the team can use them for social media and match reports and stuff like that. So basically what I'm doing, I'm just flicking through each image, every image I've got, and then I'm using just the color coding I use, so you can use the numbers like 6, 7, 8, 9 for like red, green, blue, and tag them different things. I'm just going through. Oh, sorry, my camera was uncomfortable, so I slipped it. I've got it on like a head thing I'm wearing here. I'm going through any decent photos. I'm just selecting them red, so that I know I can use them and I can come back and edit them afterwards. So I'm literally just going through one at a time, and tagging them with the red flag if I think they're going to be in the final selection. I then go back, I select all the red ones, I go through those and I narrow those down until I've got probably like 8-10 images that I actually am going to edit that night and send. So now you can see I'm starting to edit them. I've picked the ones which I want and I'm going through. It's basically just that. You can see it on the bottom of the screen there vaguely. What's that? Probably like 15 images. I'm going through and I'm cropping them. There you go. There is a fair bit of cropping goes on with sports photography. Crop it there. Just taking out some of the dead space around the image really. Making it a bit easier, a bit better. There we go. Going on the coach. Nothing too huge, although to be fair, that image right there I have cropped probably a bit more than I normally would. Generally speaking, it's not a huge amount. Sometimes I'll take something that's landscape to portrait like I did just there. Sometimes I'll just, like I'm doing now, I just take out the dead space around the photo because I don't think there's, a need to have loads of extra wall and stuff like that. Just zoom in a little bit, especially if I've chopped off someone's foot like I did there. I actually moving a bit closer, so I take out the whole leg. It just looks a bit, I just zoomed in there to check it was in focus. That's a heavy crop. That's very rare I would crop like that, but I just like the moment, so I zoomed in just to get it like that, just taking out the dead space. That's something which I tend to do quite a lot. And there again, just taking out the dead space. Checking this in focus. Obviously I've edited these as well, so not a huge amount for sports photography like this, to be honest. I don't spend hours and hours. I just go through, you know, tweak the colours, contrast, white balance, stuff like that, make sure it's all right. Again, just picking out a moment there. There was a guy in the crowd there who was awesome with all his Surrey Scorchers kit on, so I just zoomed in so the image became about him as opposed to just about an entire crowd. Again, just taking out the dead space. And basically this is what I do, guys. You can see me going through and doing it. There was a bit of work here because you can see there's like a kid off to the left on this image. The background was just way too busy to be able to ask everyone to get out of the way, so I'm just kind of chopping out the detail. I've just taken that guy on the right. In a second you're going to see that I'm going to chop out that guy on that kid on the left of the image. There we go. Just something which I had to do just to clean up the picture of these cheerleaders, just to make it look a little bit smarter. I'm not the best with stuff like that, to be honest. You know, Photoshop, those kind of things. I'm not an expert, but I know enough to tweak things and take that kid out of the picture, which is this one I'm doing just now. I might have duplicated the footage because it showed me do it twice, but anyway, here we go. So I'm just taking out the guy on the right. Then in a second, you'll see I take out the kid on the left, and just basically just use the cloning tool just to copy the wall and move it in so it all looks the same again. Fairly straightforward, to be honest, once you know how to do it. Just to get a nice picture of the cheerleaders that balanced out properly and look good. So there you go, guys. That's me kind of editing the images. I'll get this down to a set of about 6-8 images. You can see those on my website, which comes up with a link at the end of the video. If you want to go to my website, it's the Surrey Scorchers versus Manchester Giants gallery, and you can see the whole gallery of all the images there. I hope you guys found this interesting. I just thought it would be good to kind of document, photographing a sports event, really. I hope you liked it. Thanks for watching. Keep checking out on the blog, and there'll be new stuff soon. And I'm doing a similar kind of this thing with a football game. Alright, cheers guys. Thank you.